All right, before we sort of transition to some like specific teams and run games to focus on for 2024, any other sort of like big picture thoughts about the way the run game is trending in the modern NFL?
I kind of spilled a lot of my thoughts, but I would say tight ends are back. I would say that is one thing, not just because of last year's draft, but I think that's where teams are realizing they're. It's kind of become a joke because it's been so passe to say this, but like sub personnel, nickel and dime is the new standard defense. It's the new base. And I think offenses realize, and some of the better ones realize, it's like, let's try and get the offense or the defense and base defense as much as possible. Base meaning 3 linebackers, or in a 3-4, they're 3-4 looks as opposed to nickel or dime. And because not a lot of teams got 3 linebackers they can trot out there, some teams don't even have 1. And now you're just lowering the personnel. It's like just playing Madden. Let's swap out the 82 overall for the 72 overall. And let's just pick at him. Teams had a lot of success against the 49ers last year. Get Oren Burks on the field instead of, getting them in the nickel personnel and getting Lenore in the slot, even though he's playing outside too, but get him on the field and let's pepper him. Let's just pick at him and make him defend the whole space. So why I want to bring that all up is like, I think tight ends, their usage there would be a little bit of uptick where teams are going, so I'm going to get 12. All right, you're going to match us with sub personnel against 12. Let's go 13. The Chiefs have done it the last couple of years. The Cardinals bring them up one more time. I think they're going to really lean into it this year because they got great personnel for it. So if you defend the Cardinals this year, they tried out the 3 tight ends with Tip Raymond, Trey McBride, and the third guy who's a pretty good player too. Elijah something or another. I can look it up in 2 seconds.
I don't have Cardinals tight end 3 off the top of my head.
I know Elijah Higgins, but
there you go.
Good, nice blocker.
Former Stanford receiver, kind of, sort of.
He's like a hybrid, but he's actually become like a pretty cool blocker and everything. But why I want to bring all those guys up is, all right, now we got Marvin Harrison Jr. The natural defense against 13 personnel is load the box. We're tying this whole conversation back together. Let's load the box and go single high. You're going to go single high against Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Good luck, yeah.
All right. That's fine. We'll go cover 2 to his side. We'll cloud his side. That's what best receivers kind of get. All right, we're going to pound the rock, snap after snap with 3 tight ends on the field. And I think the Cardinals invested in that because they realized it worked for them the second half of the year, and I think they just juiced it up even more. It's what's helped the Chiefs the last couple of years really unlock their offense and ways to get mismatches for Kelsey again. So the Cardinals are the one team I've kind of pinpointed as that, but I'm curious if other teams kind of lean into a little bit more of that, more tight end looks.
Yeah, we talked about like the cyclical and like reactionary nature of the league, and as much as we've said with like running backs and like the contracts of all that, like there was definitely times like, well, linebackers are running back of the defense, like that position doesn't really matter anymore. And then you see teams this year, it's like, or this past year, it's like, wait, they don't have any good linebackers. We're banged. What are we doing here? The spine of the defense stinks. And I keep thinking like, what's the reaction then to the reaction there? And I'm like Daniel Jeremiah said on our mock draft, one of the mock draft Monday shows that like he thinks in 5 years, we're going to start seeing these like 6'5" linebackers to just like literally clog up middle of the field passing lanes,
like
right?
a 2-3 zone guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Because like, well, we tried to take away like too high, deep passes, stuff like that. So teams have sort of tried to matriculate over the middle. Let's just get tall guys. So I don't know. And then that will be fascinating to see how offenses attack that. So that's what's beautiful about football is it's like a constant moving picture.
It really is. And the hybrid player thing is huge though. Like we're going to see so many of these 215 to 225 pound guys and we're going to go, that's dime. And it's like, well, I mean, look at the Cowboys. They had like a 202 pound quote unquote linebacker, playing for them last year, like that. It's like, they're technically that, but we're going to see more of that hybridization, the Kyle Duggars of the world, like where it's like those types of players are going to be kind of, but again, it brings us back to the run game. Cause if they're lighter, just run it on them. Let's just use physics to our advantage.